In 1759, Voltaire wrote Candide in just 3 days. It wasn't intended as high art, but as a ruthless mockery of the most popular philosophical idea of his time. He wanted to show that believing everything happens for a reason isn't just naive, it's dangerous, and struggled with a question that feels hauntingly modern. How do we stay sane when the world falls apart? Especially when we are told that every catastrophe is just a necessary part of a grand design? In the 18th century, philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz argued, "We live in the best of all possible worlds." It's a comforting idea. It explains everything. It justifies everything. And that's exactly the problem. If every tragedy is meant to be, then no one feels the need to fix anything. Voltaire hated this passive attitude. He took a simple, honest young man named Candide and threw him into the meat grinder of reality to see if that theory survived. Candide begins his life in a protected castle. There, he spends his days listening to his teacher, Pangloss, who insists that everything is linked and perfectly arranged for the best. Candide believes this completely, until he is suddenly thrown out of the castle and everything changes. From that moment, he is dragged through a series of extreme, often shocking events. He is forcibly recruited into the Bulgarian army and witnesses brutal violence. Villages are destroyed, civilians are massacred. War is shown as senseless and cruel. His journey brings him to Lisbon, where he witnesses a devastating earthquake. The destruction is immediate and overwhelming. In its aftermath, authorities attempt to respond through punishment, carrying out executions in the belief that it might restore order. The most sobering moment happens in Suriname. Candide meets a man who has been physically broken by his life as a laborer in the sugar industry. He is missing both a hand and a leg. "This," the man says, "is the price of the sugar you eat in Europe." For Candide, the illusion finally shatters. He sees that this perfect world is fueled by the systematic destruction of human lives. He stops searching for excuses for evil. Instead, he searches for a way out and for a way to reunite with his lost love, Cunegond, who had vanished from his life after the brutal attack on his home. Cunegond plays a central role in Candide's journey. At the beginning, she represents something ideal, a source of affection tied closely to the safety of the castle and the simplicity of Candide's early worldview. That image changes over time. When Candide finally finds her, she has lost her beauty and her spirit. She is exhausted and difficult to be around. But this is where Candide finally grows up. He doesn't leave her. He chooses to stay, moving from an obsession with a perfect girl to a real commitment to a real broken person. But while Candide finally accepts the world as it is, his companions remain trapped in their own delusions. This is where the story becomes absurdly grotesque. Characters suffer horrific fates only to pop up again a few chapters later, battered but alive. Candide's teacher, Pangloss, is the best example. He catches syphilis, a terrible disease that eats away at his nose, and even survives an execution. This cycle of resurrection isn't a mistake in the writing. It is Voltaire's way of showing that no matter how many times these people are crushed by reality, their stubborn, delusional theories simply refuse to die. By the time Candide finally tracks down Cunegond on the shores of Turkey, he has gathered a small, exhausted group of fellow travelers. They are not heroes. They are a collection of the physically and mentally scarred people who have survived the gallows, the slave markets, and the crushing weight of their own shattered ideals. In the end, survivors settle on a small, modest farm. They are tired of traveling and tired of talking. Pangloss tries one last time to prove that all their misery was necessary to bring them to this moment. He is still trying to fit pain into a box. Candide cuts him off with the most famous line in literature. "That is very well put, but we must cultivate our garden." Cultivating the garden is not about giving up. It is about taking back control. It means realizing that we cannot fix the whole world. The garden is a place of real work with real results. Instead of debating abstract systems, we focus on practical tasks that make life a little better. We stop looking for a higher design and start doing what is right in front of us. Candide ended his journey with a shovel in his hand. The world may not be perfect, and it may never be. But Voltaire's message is clear. The only way to endure the chaos is to stop overthinking. Stop overthinking the universe and start taking care of the work and the people that are within our reach.